Husband announced he was leaving me at our daughter's graduation, but started screaming when Hello besties. Welcome to Emma's Tales. Please subscribe and leave a like for us. It means the world to us. Also, share this video with your loved ones and turn on post notifications so you don't miss future videos from us. Thank you. As you do so, sit back and relax as we dive into this story. Her name echoes through the loudspeakers. Amelia Ruth Lawson, and 3,000 people rise into a single clatter of cheers. The dean's velvet sleeve sweeps toward center stage. Amelia lifts her chin, and somewhere near my ribs a small, bright fuse catches fire. I stand because everyone stands, palms slapping together on pure reflex, knees trembling against the flimsy rented bleacher. Banners of crimson and gold ripple overhead, and the scent of sunscreen, hot metal railings, and someone's contraband sangria folds into the summer air. Amelia strides toward the podium. Our brilliant, restless girl, tassel bouncing like a metronome, and before I can steady my heartbeat, my husband leans in. I'm filing for separation after the photos, he says, voice pitched just above the roar so the family behind us can hear every syllable. His breath smells of cinnamon gum and cowardice. I turn my head an inch, enough to register the flash of triumph in his eyes and the sly tuck of his chin. He thinks this is strategy. Detonate the marriage while the cameras are fixed on gowns and mortarboards, leave me no space to sob or scream. He has miscalculated the stadium acoustics, for rows of strangers now know our fault line. A woman in a wide-brimmed hat pauses mid-cheer, mouth open like a broken hinge. I keep clapping. My hands sting. Each smack is a metallic bang inside my skull, yet I match the crowd's tempo, refusing to let my applause falter. If Amelia turns, all she will see is her mother glowing with pride. The fuse in my chest burns hotter, spreading light and pain in equal measure, but my face stays smooth, practiced. I've been rehearsing this role for weeks. Ever since a late-night smartwatch ping flashed a name I didn't recognize and my world tilted 30 degrees. He doesn't know that, of course. He thinks today is the ambush. He thinks I'm unarmed. Amelia reaches the dean, shakes twice, firm hands because we taught her that, and the photographer's strobe ignites. White spots burst across my vision like falling meteors, then fade to reveal my daughter's radiant grin. She lifts the diploma folder overhead, a trophy to the gods of student loans, and the stadium erupts again. The applause thickens, becomes a living wave. It rolls over me, muffling my pulse, drowning my husband's whispered, "Did you hear me?" I nod as if acknowledging nothing more sinister than the valedictorian's GPA. The little fuse burns all the way through and strikes something colder, harder, resolve. I inhale, and the sound warps. The bleachers tremble, tassels blur, whistles spiral into feedback. A marching band drumline somewhere up the field launches into a victory cadence, boom boom, rat-a-tat, clash, and each hit stretches time. My attention narrows to fragments, Amelia's heels tapping across plywood, the dean smoothing his sleeve, a toddler chewing commencement confetti. A drone camera hums overhead, its lens reflecting the cerulean sky like a predator's eye. My phone buzzes in my clutch. I feel it, don't look. Not yet. My husband's shoulder touches mine, a claim. I shift minutely away. We appear married still, coordinated navy outfits, matching gold lapel pins engraved with the year. But under my blouse a silk ribbon of perspiration slides down my spine, reminding me that costumes can't cool the body's panic. I think of the motel charges I photographed, the lipstick stain on his collar that didn't belong to me, the stutter in his voice when he realized the Tesla's dashcam records, even in valet mode. I let those memories pour ice on the panic, solidifying it into composure. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. The dean calls the next graduate. Names blur into phonetic noise. Ortega, Patel, Zhang, Lopez. A parent's foghorn shout ricochets from metal beams, and somewhere a champagne cork pops. The summer sky could split from so much joy. My lips part in a trained smile, but behind my teeth I taste iron. The crowd's celebration presses against my eardrums, trying to suffocate the private catastrophe unfolding between two seats in row K. My phone buzzes again. 3 vibrations, the coded pattern I set with Lydia, my oldest friend and favorite lawyer. I slide the device from my clutch, thumb hovering over the glass. The screen shows a single line of text. All set. He has no idea. Pride blooms in my chest, bright as Amelia's sash. I tilt the phone so its light doesn't catch his peripheral vision and type. Stage 1 complete. Ready? The answer comes before I lock the screen. Ready when you are. Applause swells as the final graduate bounds across the stage. Streamers cannon into the air, ribbons of neon that spiral down toward the sea of mortarboards. Families surge forward to the railings for photographs, chanting names and inside jokes. I join the motion, stepping down the bleacher aisle without wobbling. My husband reaches for my elbow. Out of habit or fear I'll faint, but I slip my arm free. We should get closer, I say. My voice sounds like it belongs to a brunch host, light and carbonated. Pictures. He blinks, thrown by my calm. A man nearby nudges his wife, whispering. They heard him earlier. They're watching now. Good. Witnesses matter. I angle my body toward the steps, forcing him to follow or lose me in a tide of relatives. As we descend, I notice how the gilt tassel on his tie clip trembles against his shirt front. He's nervous, though he hides it well. The audience's leftover cheers ricochet off the stadium concrete, mingling with a sharp metallic clash of folding seats returning upright. Each clang feels like a judge's gavel. We reach the field's edge, where graduates funnel into cordon lanes. Amelia spots us, her cap now tilted jaunty with freedom. She waves her diploma like a sparkler. My heart lurches, softened by her dauntless grin. I wave back, cheeks aching with genuine pride. For a moment the fissure running through my marriage retreats behind the floodlight of maternal joy. Then my husband squeezes past me to intercept Amelia. Sweetheart, over here. His shout wobbles at the end, a bark covered in velvet. She trots over, tossing her cap to a friend, and collides into his hug. They sway, father and daughter framed by 1,000 other ecstatic reunions. I snap photos, zooming tight, making sure the lens captures his watery eyes, proof he can still feel. When Amelia steps back, I cradle her face, press a kiss to her temple. She smells of hairspray and triumph. Mom, did you see me almost trip? She laughs, breathless. Never, I assure her. You looked like you were born on that stage. My husband's hand ghosts the small of my back. We should take family shots before the crowd thickens, he says. He's performing normalcy, desperate to postpone his planned announcement until he controls the backdrop. Too late. The fuse is gone. The explosion silent, but irreversible. I nod brightly. Buy the banner, maybe? The light's better. I angle us toward an arch of balloons where a professional photographer corrals families. The photographer waves us forward and begins firing shutter bursts. First Amelia alone, diploma aloft, then Amelia with each parent. Finally, the three of us together, a trinity carved in cardboard smiles. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Flash, flash, flash. After the second frame, the photographer says, "Parents closer, please, pretend you like each other," with a wink. I laugh on cue, pivoting my shoulder to my husband's chest. His arm encircles my waist, the gesture routine, but his palm is damp. He's felt my phone vibrating, noticed my eyes dart to the screen. He whispers, "Who are you texting?" Click goes the shutter. I keep smiling. "Just fielding congratulations," I say, and the photographer captures that lie in glossy color. Amelia rolls her eyes at the mushy parents bit, then wiggles free to greet a classmate signing yearbooks on diploma folders. The photographer thanks us, already beckoning the next family. I step aside, thumbs dancing over my screen. Message to Lydia. Stage 2 in 10 minutes. West stairwell. Bring copies. Behind me, my husband exhales a shaky breath. I feel it more than hear it. The exhalation of a man realizing the evening is sliding out of his grip. He's planned a speech for me, perhaps scripted kind words about growing apart, rehearsed lines about new beginnings, and our daughter will always come first. He didn't factor in my serenity, or the envelope waiting in my purse. We move with the stream toward the concession concourse, the air cooling under concrete overhangs. Popcorn scent mixes with diploma ink and spilled soda. My husband touches my wrist. "Can we talk somewhere quiet?" he asks, pretending tenderness for any eavesdroppers. I match his volume. "Of course." My smile holds. Inside, adrenaline thrums like a wasp trapped in glass. We follow directional arrows to a service stairwell painted institutional beige. His stride lengthens. Mine remains measured, forcing him to slow and wonder why I'm not hurrying to hear my own verdict. On the landing, we pause. Metal doors hush close behind us, muting the celebratory din to distant thunder. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. My heels tap once against concrete, an accidental gavel. He studies my face, confusion knitting his brow where conceit sat moments ago. "I'm sorry," he begins, voice syrupy. "This isn't how I wanted to." My phone buzzes again. Perfect timing. I glance, nod, slip it away. When I meet his gaze, I see the first flicker of alarm. He expected tears, accusations, perhaps desperate bargaining. Instead, he's confronted with an unreadable calm and a phone that keeps receiving coded confirmations. He wets his lips. "Who's that?" His tone pinches. "Someone who'll help us keep this civil," I answer. It is not a threat, merely a fact dressed in courtesy. He laughs, too loud, the sound bouncing off cinderblock walls. "Are you recording this?" "God, Nora, don't be dramatic." Dramatic. I think of lipstick on his collar, not dramatic. I think of motel receipts stapled to corporate expense forms, not dramatic. I think of our daughter's trusting grin seconds ago. My expression softens, almost pitying, and that unsettles him more than anger would. His fingertips twitch at his side, wanting to grab, to steer, to dominate the narrative he wrote in secret. He steps closer. "Let's just," he starts. The stairwell door creaks open at the top landing. Footsteps descend. A brisk, confident cadence. My husband's gaze lifts, wary. Before the newcomer appears, I text Lydia one last line, "Showtime." Then I raise my eyes to meet his, letting him see something he's never bothered to find, my unflinching resolve. "You were saying?" I prompt. He opens his mouth, but the words congeal. The person reaching the landing remains unseen for now, but the echo of their shoes steals his attention. There, in that breathless beat, our roles invert. He, the man who thought theatrics belonged to him, stands on a precipice of exposure. I, the woman he expected to crumble, tilt my head with a small, inscrutable smile. Relief warms my sternum, quick as sunrise after a long storm. I pocket my phone. His eyes dart to the purse tucked under my arm, the envelope outline unmistakable. Understanding dawns, late, shocked, incandescent. He realizes the stairwell might not be where he delivers a monologue, but where he receives one. His shoulders hitch, his jaw tightens. A high flush creeps above his collar. Down the corridor, the celebration continues oblivious, symbols of joy for a graduating class. In here, another commencement is about to begin. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. "Why are you smiling?" he whispers, voice cracking so slightly only a woman who has cataloged his every inflection would notice. I don't answer. The stairwell door clicks shut behind Lydia's silhouette, and the chapter, our marriage, this day, his illusion of control, hangs suspended, a held breath before the plunge. He knows only that something unscripted is pulling focus away from his planned exit, and that his wife, who should be shattered, is instead texting secret allies and smiling into the wreckage. The glass panel window of the stairwell captures our reflection, two figures poised at the edge of an unseen stage curtain. He's beginning to scream inside, though no sound yet breaks the stale air. I feel the tremor of it, the way animals sense a coming storm. Outside, Amelia's classmates fling caps skyward, and the world tilts into new trajectories for all of us. I straighten my spine, hand steady, pulse quiet as winter. Whatever he screams next will not change what I have set in motion. The stadium loudspeaker crackles a final announcement. Traffic exits, photo stations, congratulations. But here, in this narrow slice of concrete and fluorescent light, another ceremony is about to commence, and he is no longer the one calling names. Lydia steps onto the landing, portfolio under one arm, steel-inflected smile fixed on my husband as if she's greeting an impatient juror. Behind us, the stadium's thunder has faded to a muffled tide. In this beige stairwell, our breaths sound loud enough to echo. My husband straightens, instinctively seeking higher ground, but the steps run only downward. Lydia offers her hand. I'm Lydia Morris, Nora's counsel. Her tone is cordial, almost breezy, but the title lands like a gavel. He doesn't shake. His eyes flick to me, then to the door. I block the exit with a polite pivot, as though we're partners in a slow dance. Lydia opens her portfolio and slides out a manila envelope sealed with a crimson sticker. Copies for both of you, she says. Prenup addendum, financial statements, sworn affidavits, supporting photos. The word photos pinches his shoulders inward. She holds the envelope toward me. I pass it on without comment, careful that my fingers never touch his. Paper grazes his palm. Static snaps. The stairwell hum becomes a vacuum. He stares at our names printed on the tab in Lydia's meticulous handwriting, pupils dilating like ink dropped in water. 1 heartbeat, 2, 3. He tears the seal. Pages whisper apart. Lydia and I wait, silent, letting the weight of each line sink into him. Infidelity clause highlighted in neon. Credit card records labeled by hotel room. Date, partner. Screen captures of late-night texts with someone saved as willow heart emoji. A photograph of his Tesla idling behind the garden cordon, time-stamped for the night I claimed to be chaperoning Amelia's study group. He flips faster, fingers jerking. His breathing goes from shallow to ragged. You've been busy, he mutters, voice hoarse. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. I had some downtime between commencement committees, I answer. No sarcasm, just fact. Lydia's pen taps once against her clipboard, an auditory metronome measuring his heartbeat. He flips another page and finds the clause allocating joint assets to the innocent party in case of proven adultery. His thumb smears sweat across the highlight. This can't stand, he whispers. The stairwell's fluorescence buzz louder, or maybe that's the blood rushing his ears. It will, Lydia replies, gentle as a lullaby. You signed the amendment last year, remember? Estate planning brunch. Bottomless mimosas. You insisted on a lavender signature because it felt regal. We have the notary video. He reads on, skin blanching. When the affidavit from hotel staff emerges, he folds the document as if to snap its spine. The silence thickens, stretching seconds into taffy. My pulse is steady. The panic that threatened to drown me an hour ago has crystallized into focus. I watch his face register each proof point, a sequence of micro-expressions: disbelief, resentment, dread. Lydia checks her watch, polite reminder that time exists. A rap at the stairwell door jerks us. A burst of lobby noise, camera shutters, distant laughter, spills in, then Amelia's voice trills down the stairwell. Mom? Dad? I've lost Nana and Philip. Where'd you go? My husband snaps the envelope shut, stuffs it beneath his blazer, tries for a reassuring smile that twitches at the edges. Just giving Mom her purse, he calls, falsetto bright. Amelia pushes through, diploma folder clasped to her chest like armor. LED balloons bob behind her, tethered to jubilant cousins. She's flushed with victory and confusion. Her gaze flicks from Lydia's legal pad to Dad's sweat-glossed forehead. Everything okay? She asks. Perfect, I say. We're heading to the photo station outside. I set a hand on her shoulder, steering all three of us toward the door. My husband hesitates, wants privacy, wants to plead, but the lobby's chaos beckons like a courtroom packed with potential jurors. Lydia follows, jaunty, as though leading a parade. We step into pandemonium. Families clog the concourse in clashing colors, camera flashes popping like fireworks. Nicknames ricochet, Melly Bell, Big Ben, and the rising aroma of chili dogs tangles with hairspray and sweat. The energy is frenetic, sentences truncated, laughter overlapping. Our trio moves through it in broken strides. My husband tries to cut my elbow. I glide away, smiling to acquaintances who accidentally become witnesses. A cheer squad mother barrels past, nearly clipping Lydia with pom-poms. Lydia pivots, unfazed, vanishing into the crowd to retrieve coffee while we snake toward a quieter alcove near an emergency exit. Amelia chatters about tassel trading, always oblivious to subtext until she senses Dad's silence. She stops. Did something happen? You look ill. He opens his mouth, but the words wilt. I offer, your father and I were just discussing logistics for dinner. It's technically true. We're logging the coordinates of our family implosion. Can you give us 2 minutes? She glances between us, sees the strain in the request, nods and steps aside to scroll congratulations on her phone. Her absence leaves a vacuum filled by rattling air vents and the hydraulic hiss of soda dispensers. My husband shifts from foot to foot, envelope crackling beneath his suit jacket like contraband. You can have the house, he blurts. I'll make monthly support payments. Don't destroy me with this. Something inside me notes the phrasing. Not don't destroy us. Only him. I tuck hair behind my ear. I'm not destroying you. Choices have consequences. This is blackmail. It's documentation. He checks the corridor. A cluster of students sweeps by, tassels whipping the air. He lowers his voice. I'll contest. Courts hate public shaming. He's reaching for familiar power levers, reputation, resources, but they slip. I fold my arms. You announced separation before half the bleachers, Michael. Public shaming was your starter course. Lydia returns, iced coffees in hand. She passes me one, sips hers, and addresses him. Your attorney can contact me Monday. For now, maybe enjoy your daughter's milestone. He blinks at the casual dismissal, then snarls, Don't patronize me. The snarl is low, meant only for us, but a father photographing nearby glances over. Smartphones are everywhere, front-facing cameras angled like tiny mirrors reflecting his unraveling composure. He swallows fury, tries for calm. Fine. We'll talk later. No, I say. We'll finalize later. Talking's finish. Lydia nods, sealing the statement. A waiter pushing a cart of concession trays bumps Amelia's heel. She turns to us again, eyebrows knitted. Dad, seriously, what's going on? The envelope's corner juts from his blazer pocket. She catches the unnatural bulge, her attention sharpening. Is that my graduation present? She teases, trying to restore levity. He forces a laugh. Hi, brittle. Just paperwork. Lydia's eyebrow twitches. Amelia peers closer, curiosity morphing into concern. Why is Mom's lawyer here? The crowd's roar dims, as though a sliding door vacuum seals around us. My husband's mouth opens, shuts. Lydia retreats half a step, giving the family tableau center frame. I inhale. Sweetheart. I begin, careful, but my husband shoves between us, blocking her line of sight to me. Let's not ruin today, he says to her, tone supplicating. The words ring false even to bystanders. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. A teenage cousin hanging off Amelia's arm senses drama and raises his phone, camera already streaming to friends. Behind us, someone squeals. Get me in the video. The concourse bristles with voyeuristic energy. Amelia looks from one parent to the other. Ruin what? Tell me. He turns to me, eyes aflame. You wouldn't. The thread is half whisper, half plea. I recognize the pivot, cornered havoc masquerading as moral outrage. My reply is a single questioning tilt of my head. Then I step around him, open my purse, and extract a second envelope, identical, fresh. Gasps flit through our small audience like sparrows. I place it in Amelia's hands, fingers steady. Read later if you want. Just know I love you endlessly, and nothing in there changes that. Her eyes search mine, finding truth, but not yet context. My husband grabs for the envelope. Lydia slips between them, coffee cup pivoting like a gavel. Touch her again, and the cameras will enjoy that angle, she murmurs. He freezes, noticing how many lenses have already swung toward us. The corridor hushes under the rustle of expectations. A mother I don't know holds her phone aloft, blinking red light. A sophomore in a mascot hoodie whispers, Bro, it's live. My husband's face pales, then flares crimson, embarrassment burning hotter than anger. Stop filming, he snaps. Phones rise higher. Amelia presses the envelope to her chest. Dad, why do they need a lawyer? The tremor in her voice shears through my composure more effectively than his threats ever could. Before I respond, he rounds on me. You're poisoning her against me. A flashbulb pops. Someone's voice floats above the hum. Is that adultery? It isn't shouted, more a conversational marvel, but the word adulteress ricochets off cinderblock and finds every open microphone. A symphony of clicks follows as a half-dozen phones lock focus on him. Panic registers, pupils pinprick, breath accelerates. The bystanders' expressions morph from idle curiosity to collective judgment. He staggers a step backward, envelope crinkling under elbow. Stop, he croaks. This is private. A cheer erupts in the distance. Another family, another milestone, yet its echo sounds like mockery. Lydia holds her clipboard like a shield. I stand beside Amelia, arm around her shoulders, anchoring her in this rip current of revelation. Dad, she says, low but firm, answer the question. He exhales a tremulous string of syllables resembling her nickname, then collapses into silence. The cameras capture the moment, eyes reddened, sweat shining, guilt painted across features that once charmed boardrooms. One shutter snap rings louder than the rest, like a judge's hammer. Freeze frame panic in digital amber. I guide Amelia toward the daylight spilling in from an open bay door, leaving his figure framed by spectators and fluorescent glare. Lydia follows. Behind us, his voice finally tears loose in a ragged scream. Nora, please. It echoes down the concourse, chasing but never catching. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Outside, the sun blazes unmarred by stadium walls, and applause from distant graduates merges with traffic horns beyond the parking lot. Amelia's steps falter. I hold her nearer. She hasn't opened the envelope. She doesn't need to today. The truth has already begun to bloom around her like an unwelcome rose, thorns first. Beside a vendor cart, Lydia pauses, hands me a bottle of water she's bartered with a brisk smile. Next steps, she says softly, are paperwork and press management. But for now, celebrate her. Amelia leans against me, temple warm on my shoulder. I don't understand, she whispers. You will, I promise. But you also don't have to right this second. I tuck stray hair behind her ear the way I did when she was 5, when scraped knees felt like the end of the world. She nods, swallows hard, lifts her diploma as though reasserting its reality. That simple gesture steadies us both. A golf cart loaded with floral bouquets sputters past. Lydia checks her phone, already fielding a flurry of legal pings. In the shade of a concession awning, onlookers replay the video clip we just lived, examining every frame for gossip gold. Somewhere behind those walls, my husband is still screaming at security, at the universe, at the reflection of his own choices. Each echo weakens. Amelia exhales, straightens her shoulders, and manages a fragile smile. So, family dinner? She asks. I blink at her resilience, steel wrapped in satin, and decide right then that nothing will dim this day for her. Absolutely, I say. Your pick. Steak, sushi, vegan fusion, name it. Steak, she decides. Rare. The word rare sounds like reclamation. Lydia grins approval. We start toward the parking garage, threading through celebratory knots of people oblivious to our storm. Every few steps, Amelia is hailed by friends wanting selfies. She obliges, tucking the envelope deeper into her tote, pride and uncertainty sharing space. At the curb, a breeze lifts banners strung across lampposts, making them flap like oversized diplomas. The world smells of asphalt heating under mid-afternoon sun, hope mixed with engine fumes. I glance back once, see lobby windows reflecting nothing but sky. The roar inside is sealed away. Amelia links her arm through mine. Whatever's happening, she says, I'm glad you're calm. Calm. A brave face built atop an adrenaline fault line. Yet hearing her say it anchors the tectonic plates beneath my ribcage. I'm glad you're strong, I reply. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. She laughs, genuine, ringing. I get it from Mom. And with that, the fuse that lit this whole day burns out, leaving only clear sky and the path ahead. The envelope rustles in her tote, a silent metronome that will tick until she's ready. For now, the sun, the steakhouse marquee flashing in the distance, the uneven chorus of families loading into cars. These are our final fragments of ordinary before the world rearranges itself. We walk toward them, shoulders brushing, the click-click of her heels syncing with my measured breaths. Somewhere behind, my husband's scream is swallowed by the crowd's next burst of joy, indistinguishable at last from any other stadium echo. 8 weeks before the graduation, the night tastes of salted lime and late spring breeze, and my smartwatch pulses against my wrist as I hose down the patio furniture. One tiny vibration, then a preview bubble floats across the screen. Willow heart, purple heart, purple heart. Miss you already. Can't wait for Tuesday. Room 214 again? The words are pink on black, casual, intimate, unmistakably not for me. I freeze, hose arcing a silver ribbon into the azaleas. The water drips to silence. A neighbor's wind chime shivers. Somewhere inside the house, Michael laughs at a sitcom rerun. The fuse that will burn for 2 months lights in that instant, and I know the rest of my year has changed shape. For the first week, I pretend nothing is different. I listen. I observe. I let the text sit unread in the watch's notification shade, proof preserved. I notice Michael guarding his phone when it buzzes, angling screens away from lamplight. On Thursday, he works late and returns home scented faintly of dryer sheet musk, a hotel laundry smell rather than his usual sandalwood soap. I kiss him goodnight anyway and lie awake rehearsing possibilities until the ceiling dissolves into dawn. 7 days later, I start staging. I ask Lydia, who handled our wills, for coffee to discuss a scholarship foundation for Amelia. We meet at a riverside cafe at 10 a.m. The river glitters. Ducks stalk crumbs. I tell her everything in a measured murmur and slide my watch across the table so she can read the thread. Lydia, unfazed, maps a plan on a napkin. Documentation first, money trails second, confrontation last. Silent storms do the most damage, she says, penciling arrows. I tuck the napkin into my planner, the first artifact of war. The next span shrinks to 5 days. I schedule my dentist, gynecologist, and accountant for the same afternoon, excuses to leave work early. Instead, I drive to the Garden Court Inn and persuade a desk clerk named Priya that I'm designing a surprise anniversary package. Priya, charmed by details of non-existent rose petals, prints me 3 months of car park logs under Michael's license plate. His Tesla appears every other Tuesday. She also hands me a brochure featuring room 214's deluxe rainfall shower, which I pocket for irony. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. 4 days later, Lydia's paralegal meets me in the courthouse basement to notarize the prenup addendum Michael signed amid a frenzy of estate planning papers last year. I watched the timestamp stamp, ink sealing my leverage. That evening at home, I cook carbonara, pour his wine. He tells a joke about an intern. I laugh, file the joke under irrelevant, and note his unlocked phone abandoned on the counter. While pasta boils, I photograph his texts with willow heart, screenshots stitched into a PDF so nothing scrolls out of frame. The sauce thickens. My resolve does too. 3 days. I set up a new checking account solely in my name, funding it with the maximum our prenup allows under household discretionary transfers. 2,000 here, 300 there. Daily drips that look like grocery sweeps. Lydia calls these rainy day teaspoons. I concoct reasons to visit the bank in person, hand-deliver papers, inquire about coin roll policies so that by graduation week, the account holds a quiet 43,000 and change. 2 days. I plant a voice-activated recorder in his car, wedged under the seat adjuster. I test it by humming the national anthem. Playback is clear enough to catch the seatbelt chime. That same night, I back up our shared drive, pulling tax returns and brokerage statements onto an external disk I label spring cleaning in bubble letters. Michael drifts into the office doorway, asks what I'm up to. Organizing, I say, swirling icons like confetti. He kisses my cheek, thanks me for being the detail queen. The recorder app on my phone, synced to the Tesla mic, purrs silently. One day, Amelia's graduation rehearsal dinner looms, 20 relatives descending on our house for barbecue and slideshow tributes. The coil inside my chest tightens. I stand at the kitchen island buttering rolls while texts from Lydia pop across my screen. Recorder files received. Confirming hotel footage, subpoena request. I reply with a thumbs up emoji, then frost the cupcakes Amelia decorated with mortarboard toppers. Michael stirs coleslaw, phone vibrating every few minutes. At one point it lights with Willow Heart's gif of champagne popping. He laughs too loudly. I ask him to pass the paprika. Evening falls like a lowered curtain. Guests arrive, their faces bright with milestone anticipation. Uncle Philip sets up a projector to loop baby photos. Every few minutes the slideshow flicks from Amelia's first steps to clips of seniors tossing caps at practice. Between rounds of applause for sugar-coated memories, I duck into the laundry room to text Lydia my final list. Evidence sorted, copies printed, envelopes labeled. Let him speak first, Lydia replies. Public venue ensures leverage. I reply, tomorrow it is. The dinner blends warmth and covert tension. Michael toasts Amelia with practice sentiment, toasts me as the world's best planner, then pockets his phone again. I watch the reflection of its screen in the catering chafers, hearts, bubbles, glitching gifs. His smile in real time is warm butter. The one that blooms when he reads a text is molten gold. Only I see the difference. I imagine ammonia fumes of motel sheets. I imagine Priya verifying license plates. I refill his glass. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Around midnight, relatives trickle out with leftover trays. Amelia vanishes upstairs to FaceTime her dorm roommate, Giddy. The house goes still except for dishwasher white noise. I slip into the study, collect all printed documents, statements, transcripts, photos, and slide them into 2 identical manila envelopes. One for Michael, one for Amelia. I affix crimson stickers to seal them. The color feels ceremonial, like wax on a royal proclamation. I don't cry. The tears happened weeks ago in the dentist's parking lot, invisible behind sunglasses while Lydia outlined adultery statutes. At 1:12 a.m., I tuck the envelopes into my suede purse, nested alongside spare lipstick and tissues. I zip the purse closed, place it on the hallway bench, visible, ordinary. I stand back, consider tomorrow's choreography. Stadium seating grid, stadium exit route, the west stairwell's beige anonymity. Each move slots into sequence, like chess pieces advancing toward inevitable checkmate. I breathe once, twice, until my pulse steadies into a slow drum. I decide I will wear navy to match Michael. It will look harmonious in photographs while concealing sweat. 7 hours before the ceremony, dawn slips through blinds and stripes the ceiling. Michael's alarm chirps. He stretches, kisses my shoulder.
It'll love it, smiling.
My face feels carved from marble, smooth, cool, unbreakable. He showers, whistles Here Comes the Sun, dresses in the suit I laid out. When he leaves to pick up his dry cleaning, I retrieve the recorder from his Tesla, copy last night's motel conversation onto Lydia's secure server, then tuck the device back into place. Insurance on insurance. Noon. The rehearsal lunch for graduates convenes at the City Hotel Ballroom. I volunteer to shuttle a few of Amelia's friends so I can observe Michael across the room, working the crowd of parents. He lifts flutes of sparkling cider, spins anecdotes about scholarship offers. He looks winning, beloved. I note how his phone rarely leaves his palm. Each time it lights, he glances, thumb twitching toward it like a homing bird. At 1:45, he steps into the corridor. I follow at a polite distance. Near the catering closet, he listens to a voicemail and whispers, "I know. Tomorrow night." My pulse doesn't spike. I simply press record on my phone, catching the tail of his promise. Tomorrow night, after he leaves me at graduation, he will celebrate at room 214. The date lines up neatly with the hotel logs. Afternoon compresses to hours, minutes. I swap texts with Lydia, confirming meeting points. I move funds, 7 transfers in 7 minutes, from joint savings into my separate account, labeling each tuition hold. I leave $10 in savings, enough for monthly statement fees. Then I draft an email to our financial advisor, per the prenup abandonment clause, instructing a freeze on shared brokerage withdrawals pending legal review. I schedule it to send at 9 p.m. tomorrow, an electronic echo of the envelope he will read at 3. Evening. Amelia's cap decorating party fills the kitchen with glitter and hot glue fumes. Michael films TikToks, raking likes. I slip outside, phone pressed to ear, and sign the retainer with Lydia's firm via DocuSign under porch light glow. Cicadas drone overhead. I picture the garden court in's ice machine humming down the hall from room 214. Accuracy matters because courts like time-stamped consistencies. Lydia's reminder loops like hold music in my head. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Midnight again. Only this time sleep finds me briefly. I dream of confetti cannons exploding legal documents instead of paper streamers. The crowd cheers as neon-highlighted clauses rain down. I awake moments before the alarm. Adrenaline crisp, pulse quiet. I dress, slip lipstick into purse, ensure the envelope's corners remain crisp. Hours accelerate, the coil tightening until we reach the point readers already know. Amelia's name through speakers, Michael's whispered announcement, the crowd's oblivious roar, my silent composure. But here, in the hush of memory, I pause one last time. I stand in the foyer mirror smoothing navy fabric, staring at my own eyes. They are calm lakes reflecting the storm clouds overhead. I whisper to my reflection, he will detonate, but you lit the fuse. Then I lift the purse, feel its weight, a small, tangible future, and step outside toward the day of reckoning. We slip inside the restaurant's private dining room just as the hostess parts the velvet rope. Polished mahogany tables gleam under artfully dimmed chandeliers. Water glasses sparkle like cut crystal on white linen. My husband offers my arm, civilized, courteous, while our daughter trails a step behind, unknowingly escorting a powder keg of revelation. We slide into high back chairs. Napkins fold into triangles at our places like origami warnings. The waiter appears with a flourish and pours wine into flutes, the liquid catching rose gold light. Conversation hums around us. Quiet laughter, silverware gently clicking on plates, low murmurs of hotel patrons beneath streaks of jazz piano. I press my shoulders back, tasting tannin on my tongue. My husband lifts his glass in a half-toast. To Amelia, he says, voice smooth as velvet, for graduating with honors. I echo, smiling, even as my pulse hammers against my ribs. Amelia's eyes shine. She sips her cider, oblivious to the undercurrent. Small talk ripples through the table. Grandparents trading stock tips, uncles comparing childhood memories, cousins speculating about grad school. I nod at each thread, careful not to interrupt the polite boilerplate. He recounts a story about Amelia's first piano recital, how she froze on stage, and then improvised like a jazz prodigy. Laughter follows him, applause in miniature. I let it wash over me, studying the storm brewing beneath my skin. Our water glasses refill. A basket of bread arrives, then the amuse-bouche, a single scallop crowned with fennel oil. The room breathes around us, softly clinking glasses, the rustle of coats as guests slide into surrounding booths. I lean forward, voice hushed but clear. There's something I prepared for you, I say, placing a manila envelope on the polished wood. The tableau is casual, an offering between plates, but every eye at our table sharpens. He glances at the envelope as though it might bite. His father, stoic in his tailored suit, raises his eyebrows and leans in. My mother-in-law tilts her head, fingertips resting near her pearl necklace. My husband's hand hovers above the envelope, trembling at the wrist. I breathe in the scent of rosemary roasted potatoes and compose myself. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Consider it a farewell gift. I continue, voice steady. I thought you'd appreciate the documentation now. I slide the envelope toward him. His fingers brush the edge, then retreat. He clears his throat. What is this? I let my words measure each second, deliberately slow. Copies of financial statements, credit card records, hotel receipts. A prenup addendum detailing asset distribution in case of abandonment. And I pause, lifting a single sheet. Screenshots from your Tesla's dashcam and your late-night messages. I set the sheet atop the envelope, highlighting the swath of pink text with a tilt of my pen. His face drains, lip quivering, eyes narrowing. The restaurant's low hum seems to recede as if our bubble inverts itself, drawing in every spotlight. I watch the flicker of his breath inside the envelope as he flips open the flap. Paper rustles. My love for you never diminished. I add in a whisper, meant only for him. But some truths demand their own stage. He turns the pages rapidly, 1, 2, 3, and his pupils shrink to pinpoints. His hand clenches the stack, white-knuckled. A bead of sweat glides down his temple. The waiter hovers, wine bottle poised, face frozen in polite waiting. I meet his gaze. There's no malice, only certainty. At the next table, a woman glances over her menu. A man's phone camera peeks from behind a napkin. Their curiosity becomes a collective lens, framing his unraveling. He slams the pages closed, sending a percussive crack through the hush. Silverware trembles on plates. The waiter startles, nearly tipping the wine. I watch each detail, the waiter's fingers tightening around the bottle's neck, my mother-in-law's knuckles whitening, the fork falling from a cousin's hand. He rises, chair screeching, and lunges for the envelope. Glass shatters. A single dining knife spins across the table, catching light before spinning off the edge. Phones flick up in unison. He roars. He grabs at the envelope. Security materializes from shadows, silent sentinels in black suits converging like tide. He recoils, chest heaving. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Light fractures into staccato bursts of flash and shudder. One-line paragraphs. He screams.
She stands.
Phone's record. Silence follows the scream. Then the stunned hush, thick as gravy. The restaurant's polished veneer cracks. Conversations freeze mid-note. The waiter retreats, carrying splintered glass in trembling hands. A security guard holds out gloved fingers. Sir, please. My husband's shoulders slump as cameras click. He looks at me, rage, shame, pleading all knotted in his eyes. I stay seated, posture unflinching, pulse thudding in my ears. Why, Dad? Amelia's voice is soft, her question a knife slicing through the static. She steps forward, clutching her napkin, face pale under the chandelier's glow. She glances at me, then at her father, the envelope still clutched in his fist. He opens his mouth, but no sound comes. Time drips. His father stands, unsteady. He places a hand on my mother-in-law's shoulder, guiding her back. She's trembling. Security gently takes my husband's arm, guiding him backward. His robes of dignity lie in tatters across the table. Wine stains, crumpled napkins, the shattered remains of our supposed civility. Amelia reaches for the envelope at his feet. I step forward and slip it into my purse. She doesn't resist. He's halfway to the door when the restaurant's manager sweeps forward. Bow tie askew. Sir, you must leave. He pauses, uprooted, and lets out a final wail.
Nora.
Stop this. The plea echoes against the walls as the black-suited guard escorts him through the curtained exit. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Live comments scroll on phones. OMG, did you see that? Hashtag divorce at graduation LOL, he snapped, wow. Their red recording lights wink like judgment. Amelia stands beside me, trembling. I slip an arm around her shoulders, guiding her back to our half-empty table where breadcrumbs and spilled wine gather like confessions. The waiter returns to upright plates, his voice a whisper. "Can I get you anything?" I exhale. "Dessert menus, please." Her head rests against my shoulder. "Mom," she says, voice small. "What happens now?" I smooth her hair and meet her eyes, studying her. "Now we eat cake." She gives a half smile, wiping tears with a linen napkin. I reach into my purse, pull out that second envelope, her envelope, and place it beside her silver charger. "Open it tonight," I tell her. "When you're ready." She nods, eyes bright. Around us, the hush unravels into murmurs. Waiters resume their floats between tables. The jazz piano resumes the lull. But for us, the world has shifted off its axis. I flag down the waiter again. 2 slices of chocolate mousse cake. He blinks, then nods. "Right away." Amelia squeezes my hand. "Thank you," she whispers. I press fingertips to her palm. "Always." Outside, the night feels charged, street lamps humming on the sidewalk, distant traffic buzzing. But here, in the aftermath of a storm, we sit anchored to this table. The cake arrives, decadent, layered with ganache and raspberry coulis. We dig in, spoons tapping plates, tasting sweetness against sorrow. When the last crumb's gone, Amelia rests her fork. "Can we go home?" I nod. "Of course." She stands. I rise too, gathering purses and menus. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Behind me, the empty envelope crinkles as I tuck it inside my clutch. His retreating footsteps fade down the hallway, an echo of broken vows. I take Amelia's hand and guide her toward the exit, past tables of strangers inching toward phone screens. The manager gives a curt nod. The door's velvet folds part. We step out into the cool night, street lamps painting halos on the pavement. She breathes in, tasting freedom and fear. I wrap my coat around her shoulders. "No matter what," I say, voice soft but firm, "you'll always be my greatest accomplishment." She leans into me as we walk toward the parking garage, heels echoing in lockstep. In the rearview mirror, I glimpse the foyer's chandelier glow, a beacon of what ends and what begins. And with that, we leave behind the roar of our shattered illusion for the steady hum of a new tomorrow. The parking lot lights glare off wet asphalt as we unload the last box from the moving van, our new beginning in a battered U-Haul rattling like a war trophy. The engine's ticking cools under the hood, punctuating the hum of distant traffic. Amelia hefts the box of books, her graduation gown folded inside like a talisman. I strap the ramp, thumb brushing metal ridges, tasting cold determination on my tongue. Behind us, the old life shrinks, the satin glow of the restaurant, my husband's echoing pleas, the hush of witnesses. Now it's just us and the moving van's promise, doors yawning open like unspoken possibilities. "Can you grab the last suitcase?" I ask. She squares her shoulders and nods, no hesitance, her mortarboard tassel from yesterday still tucked in my purse. The evening air is heavy with ozone, as if the sky itself paused to watch this exodus. We finish stacking our worldly pieces, cardboard boxes labeled liabilities and assets, a single tote bag bearing her name, and my purse, the culprit of our collapse, clutched like a lifeline. She slides into the driver's seat, hands trembling as she adjusts the mirror. The cab smells of new vinyl and bubble wrap memories. I climb in beside her, closing the door with a soft click that sounds impossibly final. The engine turns over, a low roar that feels like resolve given voice. I shift us into gear. As we pull away, the van's taillights blur into red strokes against the night, and I realize for the first time in months I'm steering towards something of my own making. Once we're clear of the lot, we coast down the 2-lane road, the city skyline receding like a fading dream. The cab's glow illuminates Amelia's face, her eyes wide, pupils reflecting streetlights. The silence settles between us, not uneasy but expectant, as if the road ahead holds its breath. We drive for blocks before she breaks the quiet. Mom, do you think people are posting about us?
Her voice catches at the end.
I glance at her, then at my phone resting in its cradle. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Notifications flicker across the screen, tiny sparks in the dark. New comment on Instagram. Congrats and wow. Tweeter tweeted. Graduation ended ugly. Hashtag drama. LinkedIn alert. Karen S. sent you a condolence note. I swipe through them, but don't respond. Each ping is a shard of yesterday's chaos, slicing but also clearing the air. They are, I admit. But you know what matters? She looks at me. You and me right now. I reach across, squeeze her hand.
Her jaw sets.
Right now. We argue over directions twice. Her GPS says take the freeway. My gut says the scenic route. She laughs when I point out the billboard for the steakhouse where we sat mere hours ago. That place feels like a fever dream, she sighs. I nod. Let it stay there. The freeway's roar merges with my heartbeat as we merge onto the ramp. The middle miles unfold in a rhythm of conversation and stillness. I tell her about setting up our apartment, where the sofa will go, which wall I'll paint sky blue for her bookshelves. She narrates the graduation ceremony to me again. The wind in her hair, her cap almost sliding off, that moment the dean's name cracked open her future. Each retelling softens the raw edges of yesterday's headline. Every so often, my phone lights up. Snapchat. Your story. 24H left. Email. HR inquiry about public incident. Text. Mom, are we okay? From her best friend. I ignore the first two. I answer the last. Better than ever. With 3 hearts. I let the rest wait. Nothing else needs my energy right now. An hour later, we pull into a narrow lot behind a brick building, the new apartment's first home. The building hums with cicadas, windows aflame with neighborly levs. I switch off the engine and exhale. Here we are. The moving van's headlights carve rectangles on weathered siding. Boxes clatter as she unlatches her seatbelt. The night smells of jasmine and new beginnings. We unload in companionable silence, carrying our cardboard world 2 flights up. My legs shake on the stairs, but adrenaline steadies my hands. Inside, the studio feels small and bright, sunlight streaming through a single window onto concrete floors. I prop the boxes in a circle, mark the center of our new orbit. Amelia strokes the windowsill, listening to distant sirens. It's quiet, she says. Let's make it ours, I reply. Over the next days, our routine carves itself into calm certainty, even as the world outside still trembles with yesterday's tremors. Social media scrolls in the background like a streaming ticker. Facebook memory from 5 years ago. Family vacation. Headline on news app. Graduation meltdown sparks online frenzy. Email from his law firm. Requesting statement regarding your departure. I brush them away in favor of spreadsheets, budgets, lease agreements, utility setups. With Lydia's guidance, I log every transfer we made. PGSQL. Copy code. July 28th, 2025, $2,000 discretionary transfer. July 29th, 2025, $5,000 tuition reserve. July 29th, 2025 freeze applied brokerage account. I print the divorce petition, sign it at night in the apartment's single lamp glow, and scan it for digital filing. The hum of the scanner sounds like a verdict rendered. The next morning I wake to confirmation. Case hashtag 25DIV1023 accepted. I save the PDF in a legal folder and breathe out years of unseen weight. Amelia finds me at the kitchenette, double-checking the dishwasher's cycles. You okay? She asks, voice soft over the drone of dishes. I look up, see her eyes, older and wiser than her years. I am, I say. This is just paperwork. The real work is living. She nods, slides a cereal bowl across the counter, and pours milk with practiced ease. The ease of ordinary tasks now feels revolutionary. My phone pings. LinkedIn. Michael updated his profile. exploring new opportunities. Twitter. Law firm issues statement. We regret the events last night. Text from my sister. I sent cookies. Will drop by tomorrow. I let the LinkedIn and Twitter alerts lie. Replying to my sister feels like oxygen. Thank you. I text back, see you soon. I pinch my fingers into a hopeful prayer and tuck the phone away. That evening, Amelia and I sit on the narrow balcony, legs dangling over the edge. The city lights pulse beneath us, an urban constellation of second chances. We share a pizza she ordered, half pepperoni, half veggie, eating out of paper plates, laughing at jokes we think up on the spot. She tells me about her roommate's roommate, her hopes for senior year. I listen, raucous with relief. I rest my head against the wall, feeling her presence steady me. A single notification buzzes. Voicemail. Nora, please call me. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. I ignore it. The vanishing ringtone carries the ghost of his voice. Tonight, I'm not listening. Weeks pass. The acrid sting of betrayal mellows into clear-sighted resolve. I watch statements post online. Local paper. Alumnus faces adultery lawsuit. His employer memo. Leadership reassignments pending legal review. I sip coffee during morning meetings with my editor, my freelance clients still trusting me with deadlines. I send Lydia concise updates. Discovery documents served. First mediation scheduled. In the margins of my notebook, I doodle apartment plans, a reading nook, a spring garden on the balcony. The divorce date, penciled beside it, reads October 12th. I circle it. One afternoon, Amelia bursts through the door holding her phone like a trophy. Mom, look. She shows me a text thread from her best friend.
Ur graduation vid went viral.
People are so awful, but also you're amazing. Your mom is a legend. I laugh and hug her. Legends for life. I tease. She flips to the comments, hearts and applause emojis, strangers pledging support. The world still gawks, but in our living room, applause is real and warm. That night, I open our joint bank's app one last time, confirm that only $10 remain in the shared account. Beneath it, the separate account, even more than I anticipated, sits poised for her tuition and our rent. I switch off notifications so the numbers won't haunt me. I tiptoe to her door, peek in at her sleeping form, laptop closed, tassel laid flat on her desk, and whisper goodnight. On filing day, I drive alone to the courthouse. The morning sun glints off limestone columns as I step onto the plaza, divorce petition clutched in my hand. The clerk's office smells of printer toner and fresh ink. I hand over the stack, offer a curt smile, and hear the stamp of filed before I can blink. The clerk returns my copies. One for my records, one for the case file. I tuck mine into the legal folder, a quiet monument to steel-willed progress. Returning to the car, I feel the air outside almost too still, as if the universe paused for this punctuation. I slide behind the wheel and call Amelia. She answers with a sleepy, "Hey, Mom." I tell her I'm on my way home and she squeals. "I'll warm up dinner," she says. I smile, imagining her in our kitchen, stirring sauce. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. A week later, she stands beside me in the apartment, diploma framed on the wall behind her. We hang the last shelf, books on one side, photos of happier times on the other, balancing past and future. She steps back, admires our work.
Feels like home, she says.
I drop a hand on her shoulder. It is. Her phone buzzes again. Voicemail. Nora, this is Michael. I can explain. Please. She holds the phone at arm's length, thumb hovering over the delete icon. The glare of the screen is harsh in the soft lamplight. I slip beside her, offering silent solidarity. This moment is everything we've fought for. Her trust intact, our bond unbroken, a future unchained by his demands. She presses send, no ring, no flourish, and the message dissolves. In that instant, the final barrier falls. The past becomes a burned-out ruin behind us, and the world unrolls before our wheels, clear and uncharted. Her smile lights the room. I hug her close. We have our victory. We have each other. And we have the quiet power of voices unclaimed. The parking lot lights blinked in a staccato rhythm against the damp asphalt as we slid the last crate into the cavernous back of the rental van. I could taste the cool air, tangy with exhaust and fresh-start adrenaline on my tongue. Beneath the open rear door, the neon glow of the restaurant's marquee, still visible across the lot, felt like a mirage of the life we'd just left behind. Amelia hefted her box of textbooks, sneakers squeaking against rubber mats, her cap and gown folded inside like an heirloom we weren't ready to unpack. I ran a gloved hand along the metal ramp's ridges, the cold steel anchoring me to resolve. "Got it," she said, slamming the crate into place. Her voice sounded small in the cavern. I closed the door with a click that echoed like a judge's gavel. "Let me drive," she offered, voice thick with something between relief and fear. I climbed in beside her, settling into the passenger seat. The interior smelled of new vinyl, bubble wrap, and possibility. I reached across and squeezed her shoulder. "You steer, I'll navigate." Outside, the lot was emptying, late-night stragglers, security guards checking locks, an echo of gravel under tires. We slipped out, the van's taillights parting the darkness like a curtain, and I felt the weight of the past 2 days recede with every yard we gained. As we merged onto the 2-lane road, the city lights blurring in the windshield, Amelia exhaled. The silence between us felt strange. No shuffled papers, no hushed arguments, just the soft hum of tires on asphalt. She cleared her throat. "Mom, do you think people are talking about us?" Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. I glanced at my phone in its cradle. The screen flickered to life with notifications, each a tiny pulse of someone else's gaze. New comment on Instagram. She handled that like a queen. Tweeter tweeted, "Graduation fireworks and tears. Hashtag respect her." LinkedIn. Notice. Leadership transition at Eternacorp. I let the phone rest. They are, I admitted. But let's leave their opinions behind. Out here, it's just us. She nodded, jaw set. Okay. The van's engine thrummed beneath us as we hugged the curves of the boulevard. Conversation flowed in long currents, then paused in still pools. I described the new apartment's layout, its skylight window, the peeling mint paint I planned to repaint, and she told me which side of her room would wear the bookshelf. In between, the dashboard glowed with fleeting alerts. Facebook memory. Family camping trip, July 2020. Headline on news app. Viral graduation confrontation. Text from her best friend. "I'm here for you, always." Ignore those, I said, reaching over to tap the screen off. Let's focus on tonight's pizza. She laughed, the sound delicate as wind chimes. Pepperoni and pineapple? Your call. I veered toward the freeway on-ramp, the cityscape folding behind us. A single street lamp flickered overhead, as if witnessing our exodus. The drive lasted nearly an hour, and by the time the van's headlights swept across the narrow facade of the brick-clad building that would be our home, the sky had lightened to an indigo haze. We parked under a lone flickering lamp, engine ticking as it cooled. The moving company's courier, a husky-voiced man named Carlos, was already unloading the first pallets of boxes. I slid my phone out again. Snapchat. Your story, 12H to go. Email. HR request statement regarding last night. Lydia's text. October 12th filing date confirmed. I powered the phone off. The legal machinery could wait until morning. Ready? I asked. Ready. Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. We climbed 2 flights of narrow stairs, boxes rattling in our arms. The corridors smelled of stale carpet and fresh paint. In the bare studio apartment, the echo of our footsteps made every footprint loom large. Stack by stack, we created the architecture of our future. Dishes in one corner, clothes in another, books in neat vertical lines. I handed Amelia her box of childhood drawings, scrawled stick figures, and wild crayon suns. She smiled through tears, unfolding each paper like a fragile map of her past. I placed the final box, labeled Nora's Secrets, beside the window where afternoon light slanted in. "You did it," she whispered. "We did it," I corrected. That evening, sleep came slow. In the quiet of our empty rooms, I laid out my laptop, logged into our joint bank account one last time. The balance stared back. $10. Beneath it, the separate account, seeded over weeks with my careful teaspoon transfers, held enough to cover rent, books, and a little cushion. My pulse slowed as I tapped hide notifications. Then, voicemail. "Nora, please call me." I let the screen lie dark. The next morning, we moved at dawn's pace, routines stitched with domestic certainty. Over toast dripping with butter and coffee steaming in chipped mugs, we scanned social media less for gossip than for closure. On Instagram, strangers applauded her strength, inspiring beyond words. On Twitter, commentators debated his meltdown, justice served. A community Facebook group posted the video with supportive threads. And in my email, from Eternicorp HR, "We share your distress and await any formal statement you wish to provide." From Lydia, "Mediation scheduled for August 10th. I'll handle the press inquiries." From my sister, "Dinner at my place Thursday. Your favorite lemon bars await." I printed the divorce petition. Clean, stark text detailing irreconcilable differences and adultery clause enforcement, and signed it in the glow of the kitchen lamp. The paper crackled like finality as I slid it into an envelope addressed to the courthouse. Amelia found me there, hair askew, pen in hand. "Need help." "Could use a hug," I said. She stepped forward, arms wrapping around me. "It's okay," she murmured. "We're okay." Don't forget to like and drop a comment. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. That afternoon, I drove alone to the courthouse. The limestone steps loomed, echoing with footsteps of so many before me. I carried the petition in a crisp file folder, heart thundering. Inside the clerk's office, the filed stamp landed on my copy with sonorous authority. "Congratulations," the clerk said, sliding the stamped papers across. His voice was gentle, as if acknowledging more than just procedure. I tucked the documents into my bag, feeling a lightness I hadn't known since long before our daughter was born. Outside, the sun warmed my shoulders, and I let myself look forward for the first time. Back at the apartment, we spent the evening making it a home. We unpacked her diploma and framed it above the small sofa. We sprinkled fairy lights along the wall where the kitchen cabinets ended. On the little balcony, we planted rosemary and lavender in pots. Each small act of nesting felt like reclamation, the old life's shards loosened, replaced by rituals of safety. My phone buzzed once more. Voicemail. "Nora, this is Michael. I'm begging you." In the soft lamplight, Amelia and I exchanged a calm look. I reached for the phone and handed it to her. Her thumb hovered over delete. She tapped the icon. The message vanished. She slid the phone back, eyes bright. "It's gone." I pulled her into my arms. "It's our turn now." Outside, the city's hum rose in gentle applause. Inside, two hearts beat in unison, unburdened at last. The vanishing voicemail echoed the first envelopes we sealed weeks ago, a full circle sealed not with paper, but with choice. And as we stood there, the lavender breeze drifting in, I knew the true commencement had only just begun. Hey besties, thanks so much for sticking around till the end. If you felt something, learned something, or just enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button.